Kuan Yu looks very cowardly in prison, but he is a martial arts master. Every day he was beaten many times by more than a dozen prisoners, but he always avoided danger when being beaten. During the days he was locked in a small, dark room. He has trained extraordinary hearing and vision. He can hear spiders crawling on walls, can see anyone's movements in the dark. But when he first entered the prison, he offended the biggest force in the prison. The prisoners here are all level 1 felons, and there are 3 major forces in the prison. The first force is the cannibal demon. It was this man who ate the leaves. It is said that he loves to eat human flesh. Before being imprisoned, he ate more than a dozen people. The second force is a group of 2 gay men. Both of them have despicable tricks and will use any means to play tricks on Kuan Yu. Kuan Yu was secretly plotted by the 2 of them. The third force is Made Uksu. More than 70% of the prisoners are his juniors. Made Uksu's juniors waved their hands and the prison guards all had to stay away. Supervisors saw Made Uksu's group beating people, but they all turned a blind eye. This time a special prisoner has come to the prison. His appearance will change everything. In all prisons, any prisoner who is screaming and being beaten is definitely a rapist. Kuan Yu was sentenced to life in prison for doing that and killing an underage girl. On his first day in prison, he was targeted by Made Uksu. Kuan Yu hid in the corner and was grabbed by his junior and thrown in front of Made Uksu. The warden saw that something was about to happen, but the juniors waved their hands, and the warden obediently left. Kuan Yu knelt on the ground. Made Uksu made a gesture and said, "You came here for this crime, right? Do that to children, you bastard?" Kuan Yu replied that it wasn't me. A junior kicked Kuan Yu hard, had the guts to do it but didn't have the guts to accept it. Made Uksu said that even if we killed someone, we would admit it, but you insisted you didn't do it. Kuan Yu couldn't listen anymore. Like a bison rushed forward and took down Made Uksu. "Isn't this looking for death? Dare to hit our big brother." All the juniors gathered around and kicked Kuan Yu. At this time, the cannibal prisoner in the distance was still leisurely eating leaves. The warden in the monitoring room also saw it clearly but ignored it. At this moment, Made Uksu stood up and walked towards Kuan Yu, beating him to a pulp. The warden, afraid of a murder, finally rushed in. Seeing Made Uksu's nose bleeding, he slammed a stick down on Kuan Yu's head. Kuan Yu fainted again and was locked in a small dark room. He was kept in solitary confinement for 30 days. After Kuan Yu was released, the second faction, a group of 2 gay men, actively sought to recruit him, hoping to form a gang and subsequently kill Made Uksu. Kuan Yu, naturally, refused. However, one of them attempted to persuade him, saying, "We have to stick together. You'll die for sure if you're alone." Made Uksu had learned that someone dared to defy him. When Kuan Yu was cleaning, he was captured by Uksu's henchmen, then thrown before Made Uksu. Subsequently, the 2 gay men were also brought in, both of them pleading desperately. Of course, their pleas were in vain. The henchmen directly cut open their pants, demanding that Kuan Yu punish them. Kuan Yu, of course, refused. Made Uksu gave the 2 men a chance, and they appeared eager. Feeling violated, Kuan Yu no longer wished to live, but he was discovered by a guard and injected with a sedative. At this moment, Kuan Yu's mother and lawyer Min visited the prison, and his mother said there was a turning point to overturn the case. She told Kuan Yu to persevere no matter how much injustice he faced in prison. Upon hearing the hope of being released, a fighting spirit ignited within Kuan Yu. In the following days, Kuan Yu didn't care no matter how much he was beaten. Even after being beaten to a pulp by the Made Uksu gang, he still ate at the cafeteria as usual. Even when he was brutally beaten by the Made Uksu gang, he still ate well at the cafeteria. At this moment, a cannibal prisoner came and sat next to him, handing him a leaf. Kuan Yu understood and took the leaf, rolling it up with the rice and ate it together with Min. But he told him to use the leaf to rub the wound. Feeling embarrassed, he quickly put the leaf down. The cannibal prisoner asked Kuan Yu if he used to be an athlete. They wondered how he could protect his vulnerable areas despite being beaten so badly in secret. Therefore, he began exercising vigorously in the prison, starting with straight leg lifts. On the other side, Made Uksu decided to cripple Kuan Yu. While cleaning up in the factory, Kuan Yu discovered he was ambushed by them and hastily fled. Using rolled-up paper with pre-sharpened iron rods, he fashioned them into makeshift darts, then used the elastic band from his pants as a slingshot. Kuan Yu pulled the band to aim and shoot. One assailant fell to the ground immediately, the second was shot in the head, and the third in the chest. When Kuan Yu rushed out, he collided with Made Uksu blocking the door, who was wielding a large pair of pliers. Kuan Yu lunged in to attack, and Made Uksu prepared to swing the pliers but lost sight. In the darkness, by the time Kuan Yu emerged, his slingshot had been fully stretched, releasing a powerful blow. Made Uksu was injured in the shoulder and threw the pliers away. Kuan Yu charged forward and delivered a decisive kick to bring down Made Uksu, emerging victorious. At this time, lawyer Min visited the prison and delivered tragic news to Kuan Yu, that his mother had passed away. His mental world collapsed, and the thought of being imprisoned for life loomed heavily. Due to the recent brawl, Kuan Yu had been isolated for 100 days. He decided to escape to clear his name. He began training, starting with drilling, gradually honing his senses to the point where he could hear the spiders nearby with his eyes closed. In the dark space, he relied on the faint light to determine the position and movement of the target. At this point, Kuan Yu was incredibly strong and formidable. 100 days passed, and Kuan Yu was released from solitary confinement. At the Andong-do training ground, he harbored deep hatred for Made Uksu. Made Uksu was determined to erase the humiliation and this time, had to kill Kuan Yu. The action began. Suddenly, several of Made Uksu's underlings grabbed the guards by the throat. Seeing that the guards were overpowered, the senior guards quickly fired tear gas. Thick smoke filled the training ground, and Made Uksu drew a knife, advancing straight toward Kuan Yu. Kuan Yu had long been attuned to his movements. As he drew closer, Kuan Yu turned around, revealing a weapon in his hand. With a swift motion, he slashed Made Uksu's face, causing him to fall to the ground immediately. At this moment, one of the guards broke free from Made Uksu's henchmen, rushed to apprehend Kuan Yu, and demanded that he drop the knife. But Kuan Yu did something unexpected. He plunged the knife into his own abdomen and collapsed. Immediately after, an ambulance arrived, and both Kuan Yu and Made Uksu were taken away. Did Kuan Yu really want to meet his grandparents? No, this move was guided by the cannibal prisoner. As Kuan Yu opened his eyes and looked around, he swiftly knocked out one of the guards. He attacked the other one in the chest, grabbed his head, shattered the needle box, quickly took out a syringe, and jabbed it into the guard's neck, demanding the key to the handcuffs. As the guard pulled out the key to hand it over, the driver suddenly changed direction, and the vehicle began to shake. The guard fired at Kuan Yu but was kicked in the arm by him. The bullet embedded into the driver's thigh, causing him pain. The driver swerved, and the vehicle went airborne, rolling several times on the road. Even in this chaotic state, with sharp vision and hearing, Kuan Yu grasped the handcuff key in midair. The car stopped, and only Kuan Yu stumbled out. He began to run for his life in the suburbs, running throughout the day and night, stealing a few sets of clothes from farmers. Even a herd of cattle chased him. He encountered a foreign couple on vacation, helped them fix their car, and finally fled to the city. Kuan Yu had to find the perpetrator who had framed him, so he began to sort through his thoughts. How exactly was he framed? Back in time 1 year ago, Kuan Yu was an unemployed young man. But in the gaming world, he is an excellent and exemplary leader in competing against countries. He led the team to wipe out thousands of troops and win the championship himself, with his teammates completely bloodied. He performed excellently against the wind and won the championship. In the game world, Kuan Yu exists like a god. That day, Kuan Yu was playing games in an internet cafe, and the phone in the chair next to him kept ringing. But there was no one in the seat next to him, so he picked up the phone. It turned out that a girl had forgotten it and asked him to take it to her house and promised to pay him $300,000. Kuan Yu didn't want to go, but when he opened his wallet, all the online money and food money were gone, so he decided to go to earn this money. When he arrived at the appointed place, the door was unlocked. Once inside, he saw a shocking scene. Kuan Yu asked for money and she told him to leave the phone on the second floor and the money on the bed. Kuan Yu put down the phone and took the money. When he left, he did not forget to remind the girl to pay attention to safety and lock the door. The next day Kuan Yu was sleeping at home. A group of police suddenly burst in and said that he had murdered an underage girl, was arrested and taken straight to the police station. At the trial, his fingerprints, hair and sperm were found at the victim's scene. The victim was violated twice and stabbed 31 times in the body, causing public outrage. Kuan Yu's past was also dug up. He was once a player of the Taekwondo national team, but was removed from the team after a violent incident. This case caused a stir in Korea, and everyone thinks that Kuan Yu is the murderer. He was sentenced to life in prison, and was sent to a felony prison in South Korea. That's why there's the scene at the beginning of the video. At this time, Kuan Yu went to Lawyer Min. Lawyer Min is holding the necklace left to him by his mother. Unexpectedly, there was an alarm call outside the window. It turned out that Lawyer Min had called the police. Kuan Yu escaped through the window and went to the internet cafe. A member of the team whose nickname is Furry Leaf was very suspicious about this case. He made an analysis video. Furry discovers a black box in the car that recorded Kuan Yu's arrival at the school. From the time you enter to the time you leave, it only takes 3 minutes. In just 3 minutes, how can you violate the victim twice and stab the victim 31 times? The previous owner sent this video to media agencies, but the video was not published. It seems that behind this incident is not so simple. Harry arranged to meet Kuan Yu. It turned out that Furry was not a fat guy but a beautiful girl. With the device widely changed in the game, Harry summoned 3 other members of the team. They decided to help Kuan Yu clear his name. Luong investigated that the victim went to the bar, and then went with a man that night. In recent years, many cases have been very similar to Kwon Yu's case. They discovered in the surveillance video a truck that had been spliced. The truck came from a scrapyard. Kwon Yu and his teammates came here to investigate, discovered that truck and followed a few men in suits to a villa, then witnessed an unbelievable scene. Several people were handling the crime scene, removing blood traces, fingerprints, and erasing all traces. It turns out that this is a team that specializes in blaming others. Once something happens to big officials and high-ranking officials, they will come to them, they will look for the right person, find someone to sacrifice themselves to take the blame. They will investigate deeply. Two of Kwon Yu's teammates disguised as maintenance workers, entered the building to help Harry break into the building system. Harry takes control of the surveillance camera. Kwon Yu finds a white box with a body inside. At this time, the criminal team arrived. Kwon Yu quickly hid and watched them set up the scene. This group of people put the body in a glass box, pasted a photo of the guilty person and left that person's fingerprints. At this moment, the boss behind saw Kwon Yu on the surveillance screen. It turned out that Lawyer Min was the next level manipulator. Kwon Yu was unjustly imprisoned because of his design. Lawyer Min decided to release Madae Uksu from prison to kill Kwon Yu. Kwon Yu was accidentally arrested and severely beaten, but luckily thanks to Lungla reporting to the police and rescuing him, the two drivers left and discovered that there was a tracking device on his mother's remains. He reluctantly threw away the wire that Lawyer Min gave him. Lawyer Min obviously became a suspect. Teammates built a drone to the lawyer's firm to monitor the investigation. They found a building and discovered there was a huge data warehouse here. Lawyer Min can control everyone in the city like a god. Even the man who honked and scolded him had his license plate recorded and took revenge. Knowing everything, Kwon Yu and his teammates went crazy, destroying the scene set up by the framing team, blowing up their car, and causing chaos in the scrapyard. Kwon Yu went to Lawyer Min and beat him in his secret room. At the database, Kwon Yu saw the video of his being framed and discovered that his mother was also killed by Lawyer Min. Kwon Yu wants to copy all the criminal data, but Lawyer Min says that his teammates are all in the hands of Madae Uksu. If you don't surrender, everyone will be killed. Copying will take at least 30 minutes, requiring evidence or teammates. Kwon Yu decided to rush to rescue his teammates. Madae Uksu opened fire on his teammates but intentionally missed several shots. During the emergency, Kwon Yu arrived promptly. He cut off the power source. The room was pitch black. With his sharp hearing and vision, Kwon Yu threw glowing rice grains and knocked out all his opponents. He saved his teammates and quickly retreated. Madae Uksu led people to chase. At the same time, Lawyer Min blamed the murder of actor No on Kwon Yu and told the TV station to report everything. Lawyer Min was very excited and thought he had won. Kwon Yu drove straight to the gate of the television station, then got out of the car alone and surrendered. At this time, the media began to report the news, but instead broadcast the truth of the incident. Lawyer Min was exposed. It turned out that Kwon Yu's USB with wireless transmission function had never been removed. Furry copied the data very smoothly and infiltrated the television station to broadcast the truth, successfully exposing everything. In the end, Lawyer Min coldly sentenced him to death. In prison, there was also Madae Uksu who began to take care of him, letting two gay people ask and serve him every day. On this side, Kwon Yu was acquitted. With such good teammates by his side, he started a new life. This is the end of the movie. This movie is called Virtual City. If you find it interesting, remember to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you again.